G'day DIY Pool Legends. Today we're going to be talking about temporary fencing. So temporary fencing with pools isn't a nice to have, it's a must have, and it's an Australian standard requirement. Now, when do you need it? Well, check your approvals, because you may need to have a temporary fence up once your pool excavation gets to a certain depth, and that's to stop people from falling in and hurting themselves. And certainly when the pool has more than 300 mil of water in it, then you have to have an Australian standards compliant temporary fence up. Now check your approvals as well. Some councils will want to come out and actually inspect the fencing to make sure that it's compliant before you continue on with the job. And basically its job is to exactly what your permanent fencing is going to do once your pool project is finished, and that's to stop drownings or other accidents from happening. So a couple of things to think about. You're going to need an anchor point at one end, so that way the fence can't move or can't be moved. And then get yourself a gate, because you're going to be coming in and out of this a fair bit. You may have your temporary fencing up for a fair while. Now this gate's job has to work exactly the same way as your permanent pool fence once you've got your fencing set up. It's got to be self-closing, so that way if someone walks through it and forgets to shut it, it's going to do it itself. Little person can't come in then and an accident happens. You're going to need to have a CPR sign on the outside. That's a requirement. Talk to your temporary fencing company about that one. And temporary fencing isn't super expensive, so it's about $300 to $400 for 30 linear meters. They'll set it up for you as well, or if not, check to see if they will. And then you can go on to a weekly rate after that. It's usually a couple of dollars a linear meter, so it's not expensive given the job that it does. Just want to point this one out. So this retaining wall here is under 1.2 meters in height, which means it's deemed climbable under Australian standards. So then the temporary fencing has to run from where the pool fence ends here all the way up to the fence. You can see that it's anchored on, so someone can't climb through this garden bed and get into the pool area. Now the reason why there's core flute on the other side is you can see these horizontal beams. This is just all panels zip tied together. That's just because that's now a climbing risk. It's horizontal, it's a foothold, and the core flute stops that. And so for this customer, they're going to have to think about, well, what's the permanent fencing solution into this space as well. But that's it for temporary pool fencing. Make sure that your other fences are compliant as well. If you're not sure, talk to your certifier, talk to your council. Prevention's definitely better than cure. All right, DIY Pool Legends, thanks for your time. We'll talk to you next time.